this is, I don't know if I'm going to be getting live updates of the comments. My goal is to be able to not only talk to the camera, but also read the comments. And secondly, the other thing that I really want to accomplish with this is getting my mouth to sync with the camera. Now, to do that, I'm going to do something a little crazy. So if you're wearing headphones, turn them down. If your speakers are loud, turn them down. If you're annoyed by loud noises, turn it down. I'm going to do something just to see how far off the audio is. I have oh, my microphone had fallen into the ground. Not the ground, the mattress, which is worse because it really muffles and like putting it into a pillow. There. As you might have heard, I have neighbor dogs, so I don't want to clap too loud. What I'm going to do is just clap softly, so you can turn up the volume again. There's a slight delay in what I'm watching on my feed of the camera. So, alright, I'm going to try to see if there's any comments. There might be. So far, oh, James Heaney. He said hello. Nobody else did. Wait, is this live? Yes, this is live. And the most amazing part of this is not only is it live for you, but I think it's live for me too. Like live. That being said, I'm going to wait to see how long it takes for you guys to say you heard that it's live or whatever, referencing my live comment. There's a new comment. I'm going to have to update automatically. Oh, it's the same comment a second time. I'm not sure how that happens, but sometimes when you get comments and you update automatically, or even when you click update, you'll get the same thing twice, unless Fade to GTR typed it in twice, because maybe he was like, what is this live? Or, I'm sorry, it's kind of far. Wait, is this live? Wait, is this live? The second time being more excited. I have automatic comments coming in, so we're going to see how long. Peanut butter. Type when you saw peanut butter. That way I can see how long of a difference there is. And then I'll tell you. I'm still waiting. Unless my sound isn't working, and then it's just me going. But I still have faith. We're waiting for somebody to say the word peanut butter. The problem was I didn't check the time. If I wanted this to be an efficient test, I should have a timer out. We'll have a second test once we know that the test between you and I of communication is working. I'm now checking text messages. I'm preparing a stopwatch. So help me God, if you aren't writing peanut butter. I see somebody writing hi. Write peanut butter. It's the only word I want to hear right now. And once that happens, then I'll know we've got a line of communication. Then I'm going to start a timer and see how long it takes for us to communicate. I mean, this is science, people. Still no peanut butter comment. You know, maybe I chose a too difficult word to spell. How about the letter T? Can you put the letter T in? Not the word. Just the letter. Come on, people. I know you out there. You can do it. I'm on the edge of my seat or bed. This is my bed. I don't know if you recognize this pattern, but I believe it's called paste. Oh my God! I got peanut butter from 2 people. That's great news. Alright, that means that we've at least got connection. I need you guys to focus. The word I'm going to say, the letter T, throw it out the window. If you typed it already, it's okay. I'll read it and I'm going to be happy with it. But the next word, it's going to have to be something special. We're going to call it the word guitar. Alright, write the word guitar starting now. I've got a timer. Whew. I almost forgot to start the timer. It would have been a completely unnecessary test. So I have a feeling I've got a couple seconds before the word guitar is typed, so I'm going to get something really quick. Please don't be there. Okay, good. I'm back. I am back. We're at 26 seconds. That's a pretty big lag. But imagine back in the medieval days how long it would have taken. If I wanted somebody to say peanut butter after me, it would have taken at least whatever a bird would take to fly to a location. So now, let's make sure that we also have the camera up at the same time so that I can see something here. This, where the hell? Oh, I moved the camera. Paisley. This is Paisley. 1 minute and 4 seconds. So there's a minute to live. It's okay. We're gonna be all right with that. That's my neighbors. Yeah. So there's a minute delay, which, in all reality, I mean, there's been several Saturday Night Lives that weren't live. Can you guess the two different people that were not live? I don't even remember for sure. I think it was. It's not Andrew Dice Clay. Richard Pryor and George Carlin. They both had a delay, so that, and otherwise, and I don't know. This is information that I got probably 10 years ago. So maybe they do a delay all the time. A lot of people saying guitar. Well, this is interesting, because that changes things up. That means Kaput is hearing this. Perhaps. I mean, I stopped my timer. I stopped my timer a while ago. Maybe 30 seconds ago. I don't know what other experiments I can have. Maybe there's people in different countries. Maybe there's a certain amount of time it takes to get different distances. It would make sense. I'm not a scientist, but it would make sense. So, here's another question for you guys. Does it look like my lips are generally close? And how close is the sound of the clap? Pretty close. I mean, it doesn't. That's what they're doing, I think. I'm not a film major, but I think when they do the slate, they're getting the sound set up so that you see just the crack of it. I mean, it would make sense. So, I guess I could turn this into. I mean, this is a test, but why not enjoy the moment? I'll answer any questions that you guys have on there. So far, you guys have answered the questions I've given, which is, if it's a question, just the demand to say the word peanut butter and guitar. Did any of you guys see my last test video? It was in regards to the Los Angeles Improv Festival. I'm going to be teaching at it. Yep. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's the very first workshop. And it's called Getting Emotionally Charged. This guy. Pretty nervous about it. Yeah, I've taught a lot of classes, and I've directed groups, I've coached teams, and I've performed in literally thousands of shows. But this is a big moment for me because it's the 11th annual Improv Festival in Los Angeles, one of probably the top 3 improv places in at least the U.S. I'm not going to pretend to be familiar with outside of the U.S. I know that there's some stuff going on in England and Australia. Certainly Canada has some cool things. I don't know what their festivals are like. But in the U.S., I would say LA's is probably 3rd largest. And that's just a starting point. I want to be able to teach improv festivals all over the place because it's hard to go to any other state and teach a prolonged thing because I can't leave LA. This is where I work. This is where I live. I pay for a beautiful apartment. But to go and do a class gets me the opportunity to see what the improv worlds are like outside of LA. And I'm really familiar with the Chicago improv world. I've performed there a great deal, although it's been years ago. And I'm also, when I go back into town, I support the community and I go see live shows. If anybody's in the Chicagoland area, there is a company called PH. A lot of those people are people that I worked with before, like the very first people I ever toured with back in 2001, in a group called Low Sodium. Big split up, they changed to PH, but they've got an amazing place on the north side of Chicago that used to be, I believe, a dance studio, because they have all these awesome mirrors there, and a disco ball, which I don't know if it came before or not. I got a heart from Dion Grim. DGG, what's up? Cheers to you. Thanks for tuning in. It's, I mean, this is a live stream. I don't know what you'd expect. I showed off my blanket. This is where I sleep. It should be no surprise to people that I have a paisley blanket, because let's face it, although there are some girly colors in this blanket, I live with my girlfriend. We have to find halfway mediums, but it's got the most manly of patterns. Paisley is the most manly of patterns, and I can prove that with my paisley ties. Here's one paisley tie. Here's another paisley tie. I'm a paisley guy. Sorry, I don't know what it is. It makes me feel somewhere between the 1970s and the medieval times. I feel like it's a really old traditional pattern. Dion Grim. I don't know, you might not have seen this from the beginning, but we found that there's a 1 minute delay. So I don't know if there's anything I can do for a smaller delay. Maybe I've set settings to say, hey, give me a safety buffer of 60 seconds. Which, if I needed a safety buffer, it would have to be like an hour, because I would have a lot of cleaning up to do if I did something that I was embarrassed of. Because I'll do almost anything. If I don't want people to see it, I'm going to need an hour. Period. So let's see, what else do I have around my room? I could show off my my girlfriend's clothes. I'm sure she would really appreciate that. Oh my god, this is actually an amazing coincidence. My girlfriend's dress is paisley, which, although I love it and never noticed it, is a fatal error in my paisley being the manliest pattern in the world. Hey James, oh my god, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that just came up. Maybe it's my internet. How old am I? It's very tough to answer this question for a couple of reasons. Before I go any further, I'll say that in rare occasions will I tell my real age, which is 32. I was born in 1980 on December 2nd. Okay? Now, at a long time ago, a while back, after I was 21, I never tried to fake being 21 before I was of age. But after I was probably, I think, 22, I started to tell people I was in my 30s. Why? Because I have a sick... I don't want to call myself a pathological liar, because I'm pretty innocent in nature. I'm not trying to mess with people, but I love to have illusions of things. And my best friend at the time and I would both tell people we were much older than they thought we were. And we would tell them we were in our 30s when we were in our very early 20s, and nobody believed us. But as it went on, and we started to say we're in our mid-30s to late 30s, then all of a sudden people started believing it, and then I'm telling people I'm 37, which in the big scheme of things is not that much older than I am. It's pretty much the same damn thing. But I've created this lore that I have a hard time not sticking with. But it's becoming less and less entertaining to me now that I'm 32, telling people I'm like 38, 39. That's not, to me, it's not that big of a jump. I need to either A, come clean with it, just tell people the truth, or B, up the ante. Like, let's be honest, there's diminishing returns on my lie. I need to lie bigger. I need to tell people, I can't believe it. It feels like I'm 40, but I just turned 50. I don't think people will believe it, though. I don't know. Maybe 45. Maybe 46. Or, and I hadn't thought about this till now, maybe I could start telling people that I'm like 19. I've just gotten a lot of sunburns. I've gotten a lot of sunburns, and I'm a lucky guy to even be alive. But that's too cliche. Everybody says they're younger, which is probably, in my younger spirit, the reason why I thought it would be so funny to tell people I was older. How times change. Let's see. I have not looked at any of the other comments. This is an amazing connection. I believe there's a 1 minute delay for anybody that's new here. So I'm gonna look down over here. I got you. There it was. That was. I answered how old I am. Nice, James. Depending on where the viewer is located, some people will hear something you say sooner than others. Ah, that does make sense. I was wondering about that. What are you drinking? Oh my God. Somebody just totally saved my ass. The last thing I need is my girlfriend to think that I'm disrespecting her clothes. We have a relationship that is based on respect and trust. Thank you. And that being said, don't tell her I was showing off her clothes to YouTube. She's incredibly shy. It is like pulling teeth to try to get her into a video, which of course I ask her to do every single day. Never happens. What am I drinking? Well, today I'm drinking, this is a rum. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a straight edge square of some sorts. I don't condone drinking. I'm not suggesting, hey, kids, go out and drink. Because it's not good. But with all judgment set aside, what I'm drinking is rum, and it's not really a very good one. It's Captain Morgan's rum, and it's not like just the regular... No, it's Bacardi rum. It's a brand that I never buy, but it was on sale. And the reason I bought it was because it said it was smoky, and it was a woody flavored whiskey. And it's okay. For Bacardi rum, it's alright. If I'm going to usually drink rum, I'm going to drink the Kraken, which has a really dark caramely taste. But in the big scheme of things, I'm not really a rum drinker. I like to drink whiskey. My favorite whiskeys are probably Johnny Walker. And all of the things that I drink I like because it has some sort of an earthy or smoky taste. Those are the ones I have, and I usually have it on ice with just a splash of water. I'm not a Coca-Cola drinker, and I hate to advertise brands. I'm not a cola drinker. I don't really like sweet drinks that often. Sometimes I'll do it. I'll splurge and have a drink that has some sort of sweetness to it. But usually I just want something plain, something that tastes like it comes from the earth. Not because I have some point to make. I just like it that way. But yeah, so let's see here. I dropped the dress again. Maybe it's Blackland NT. I don't know. I don't exactly know how to pronounce that. It's Blackland. It's probably some sort of a thing that I should know what that means. Thank you. You probably saved me from getting in trouble for showing off my girlfriend's clothes on a live stream. So, keep the good work up. I have to go to school. See you later. It's probably already too late because of the delay, but thank you for sticking around while you have. Enjoy your evening. Get a good night's sleep. And I'm sure your girlfriend... Yes. Spike Spiegel, she would not have appreciated that. Oh, somebody missed how old I am. I'm sorry. This'll probably... I'm not exactly sure how to get it on my actual channel. I live streamed a test thing earlier and it wouldn't show up in my feed. Zach is the amazing intelligent person that does all this stuff at Gamefront. I really don't know what I'm doing with it, so I'm testing the waters as I go. But short story, sorry, you're never gonna hear it from me out of my mouth. I've already said it and that's it. If you get it from the comments, good for you. But there's more to the story than just how old I am. Do you feel 40? If you told me you were 30, that's the new 20s. Do I feel 40? Let me get back to that because I've talked a lot about age and about time, and I have so much to say on the subject that I don't want to bore people. I'm going to move on, and when I run out of steam, I'm coming back to it because it's important to me. Alright. LOL, it's 10:20 on Tuesday. Why aren't you drunk? You know, I would be... I really can't I mean, I get tipsy. I probably drink more often than I should, and in fact, it's probably unhealthy for me. But I am blessed with an entirely weak stomach, despite eating haggis. If I drink too much alcohol, I throw up very easily. There are easier ways for me to let loose. So I don't always just drink. Drinking's fun, but I'm not somebody that can binge drink because my body doesn't seem to let me hold it, and I'm okay with that. Let's see here. I also live with my girlfriend. Living with my girlfriend has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me for multiple reasons. First of all, her and I get along pretty well. I'm a serial long-term relationship guy. I have never had a relationship that was shorter than a year and a half. The year and a half one was almost 2 years, give it that. The first girl I dated from 15 to 21. Then I dated somebody from when I was 22 to when I was like 23-ish. The math is easier for me to do backwards because I've been dating my current girlfriend for 8 years. And we live together, and that affords us a very nice lifestyle. I don't get paid. Right now, I get paid an okay amount of money. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not releasing my taxes until I'm forced to in a presidency election. But I live comfortably, and more so because I live with my girlfriend. We split our rent. We have very similar tastes. It's easy to split groceries. And when we go on vacation, it's just one hotel room. And we get along really well. Do I think I'm going to marry her? I don't know. I mean, at 8 years, I've one of the things I loved about her when we got together was she didn't believe in marriage. I don't really believe in marriage either. It's because I'm not a very religious person. I don't really believe in it. And as I get older, it's harder and harder to even buy my own line. But I don't feel like I need that to justify a relationship. My girlfriend and I get along very well. We've had our rough times. Marriage wasn't going to save us, and we were able to get through those times. I agree. I'm a whiskey man. Good whiskey. But yeah, I mean, living with her gives me a lot of things. If she lived at a different place and I had my schedule, it would be so hard to have time with her because I devote so much time to my art, and she's actually an artist too. She's much better paid than I am. She's works in the commercial industry, and she's a pretty busy person, but at night she's usually at home unless she's rehearsing with her band. She's in a band and plays really good music. And myself, I get home so late because I work a day job, but my real dream is comedy on the stage. And if I didn't live with her, it would be impossible for me to go and meet up with a girlfriend and give her the time that a girlfriend deserves if you're going to be in a relationship. But living together allows me to come home to her every day, and we can spend, even if it's only 30 minutes, those 30 minutes together. So I feel pretty lucky that I live with her. It's a big risk, and I'm sure that you could move into with a girlfriend and not be ready for it, and it tears apart the relationship. But I think it's worth the risk, because if you can't live together, then it's time to move on and find somebody that you can be compatible with. Don't think it's the risk of like, oh, if I move in with somebody, I gotta marry him, unless it's religious. I'm not judging, but it's just the fact that if you can't be compatible at that level, then you're not really going to be able to help each other move forward in life. I think that that's a basic thing a relationship needs. It's easy for me to say because I'm reaping the rewards of my choices. I'm sure you could move in with a crazy lady or guy for that matter, and it would be tough. Let's see here. I touch a nerve, which I don't know which one this was. I don't know what comment that was a touch on. I'm going to assume it was the girlfriend comment. And it's not necessarily a nerve. It's important to me. It's a pretty important thing. Let's see here. Do you, Mitch, and Zach ever hang out outside of work? If so, what do you guys usually do? We don't hang out as much as we would like to outside of work, and there's several reasons. First of all, I'm busy. I do a lot of live shows. Zach and Mitch are extremely supportive. They come out and see the shows that I say are important. They're always there for them, and they're very supportive. Mitch lives pretty far away, and I don't drive a car, so it's really tough. Uh-oh, I got somebody outside in the front. I'm going to have to step around. Give me one moment. This live stream is now over.